Okay, so you're trying to stay ahead, right? It feels like you're constantly playing catch up with all the big shifts happening around us.
Absolutely. It's a lot.
Today, we're going to try and cut through some of that noise. We're taking a really focused look at a massive change that seems to be on the horizon. The radical reshaping of higher education, all thanks to artificial intelligence.
That's right. We're diving deep into the predictions from this essay. Are you ready for the AI University? It's by Scott Latham. Came out April 2025. Think of this as, your quick guide to understanding what might be coming down the pike and, frankly, why it matters so much.
And we're not just talking about AI writing essays, although, yeah, that's a tiny piece of it, I suppose.
A very small piece.
Latham argues AI is set to completely overhaul the entire university experience, like from how you even apply and get support right through to the core of teaching and even the fundamental structure of these places.
Exactly. And to really get your head around the scale of this, the essay uses this really powerful idea, creative destruction.
Ah, yeah, Schumpeter, right.
Right, Joseph Schumpeter, way back in 1942. Remember film photography? How totally dominant it was.
Oh, yeah, the film, the developing, waiting.
Only 24 shots?
Exactly, all that infrastructure. Then digital just came along and, well, it basically blew all that up, created something totally new, way more efficient in many ways.
Right, no more dark rooms needed. You see the picture instantly, take basically unlimited photos. So Latham's point is higher ed is facing that kind of upheaval.
That's the analogy. It's not just tweaking things. It's a fundamental shift in how the whole system could operate.
And, when you look at higher education right now, you can kind of see why it might be, ripe for this kind of disruption.
You really can. I mean, so many places are grappling with falling enrollment numbers.
Yeah, fewer students going in the door.
But they still have these huge fixed costs, buildings, labs, stadiums, you name it. Massive overhead.
Plus, there's that shift in how students, and maybe parents too, see the degree. It feels much more transactional now, doesn't it? Like an investment purely to get a specific job. Definitely. And students are just used to these incredibly instant personalized experiences from, Amazon, Netflix, everything else in their lives. They're starting to expect something similar from their education provider.
Which they're often not getting, let's be honest.
Right. So you've got these financial pressures, this changing view of what college is for. It creates this opening, this environment where AI, promising efficiency and personalization, starts to look really attractive.
Okay, so let's dig into the specifics. Where does the essay see AI making inroads first? Maybe the administrative side, the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah, exactly, the nuts and bolts of running the place. And AI is predicted to handle a huge amount there. Take enrollment, for instance.
Okay.
Instead of just broad marketing campaigns, AI could analyze data to pinpoint students who are a really good fit for specific programs and more likely to actually enroll and succeed. Higher yield rates, basically.
Makes sense. More targeted.
And it's not just getting them in. The essay suggests AI will be pretty crucial for student support once they're there. Things like well-being, academic advising.
So AI counselors or advisors.
Kind of. Imagine AI-powered tools available 24/7, offering guidance, checking in, flagging potential issues. That could seriously help students stay on track and, actually finish their degrees. Retention's a big deal.
Huge deal. Okay, what else on the admin side? Finances.
Finances, definitely. Latham points out AI can do really sophisticated financial modeling, helping universities understand their risks, manage budgets, maybe make smarter investments, much more effectively than guessing.
Right. And then there's the registrar's office, often a bottleneck.
Oh, absolutely. The essay predicts AI could automate a ton of that. Scheduling classes, managing classroom space, handling student records.
Student records using blockchain. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, think of blockchain as like a super secure, shared digital notebook. The idea is student records would be tamper-proof, maybe even owned and controlled by the students themselves.
Wow, that's a big shift. More portable, more secure.
Exactly. And it could make transferring credits between schools, which is notoriously a nightmare right now, much, much smoother.
Okay, that would be a welcome change. And financial aid, another complex area.
Also predicted to see major streamlining. AI could automate a lot of the institutional side of processing aid applications and awarding funds.
And career services. For students getting ready to graduate.
Revolutionized, potentially. AI helping draft resumes, customize job searches, even providing AI-powered interview coaching in practice.
Okay, but hang on. Wouldn't students still want, a human to talk to about their career, that personal touch?
That's the counterargument, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's valid. But the essay suggests, maybe controversially, that for many students today, especially those who grew up digital, the efficiency and, frankly, the 24/7 availability of AI support might actually be preferred, especially if it means more students can access some kind of help.
Interesting perspective. What about accreditation, that whole quality control process?
Predicted to become largely automated, too. Latham argues that because accreditation increasingly focuses on measuring standardized learning outcomes,
Right, checking boxes.
AI is actually pretty well suited to assess whether those outcomes are being met based on data.
Okay. And big picture decisions, like should we open a new campus or start a new program?
The essay envisions AI playing a big role there, too, providing data-driven analysis and insights to help university presidents and leaders make those major strategic choices about markets, programs, resource allocation.
So much so that even the board of trustees might start asking, okay, what did the AI recommend before signing off?
That's the picture it paints.
Yeah.
They'll want to see the AI's reasoning alongside the human leadership's rationale. So yeah, it seems pretty clear AI is poised to get woven deep into the administrative fabric.
Okay, so that's the back office. But what about the core mission? The teaching, the faculty? That seems like where the really disruptive changes might happen.
Precisely. And Latham argues pretty strongly that all the current hand-wringing about, academic integrity and students using ChatGPT to cheat, it's kind of missing the bigger picture.
How so?
He believes we're already in the early stages of an AI arms race between universities. Everyone's looking for ways to use AI to lower costs and deliver more perceived value.
And who's winning that race so far?
Well, the essay points out it's often the wealthiest institutions, the Ivies, the top R1s, the ones with the resources to invest heavily in these technologies first.
Which would create a bigger divide, right? Between the AI haves and the have-nots.
Exactly. That's a real worry. Community colleges, regional publics, the places that could arguably benefit most from efficiencies might get left further behind. It's a serious equity concern.
And this competitive pressure, what does it mean for professors? For faculty jobs?
Significant consequences, according to the essay. It predicts we'll see noticeable attrition, maybe even displacement of faculty over the next decade or so.
Why? Just cost cutting?
Largely, yeah. Faculty salaries and benefits for instruction. It's often around a third of the university's entire cost structure. AI offers this potential path to deliver instruction, or parts of it, much more cheaply.
So we're talking more online, AI-led courses, asynchronous stuff?
A significant increase, yeah. And think about the potential advantages from a student perspective, or at least how it will be framed. More access, right? Learn anytime, anywhere, personalized pacing, and potentially no limits on class size.
But can AI really teach, advise, mentor, give a compelling lecture? A lot of faculty would say no.
Latham is pretty direct about this. He thinks many faculty are seriously underestimating AI's potential here. He challenges that very belief that AI can't do advising, mentoring, or narrate complex material effectively. He points to how fast AI is improving in all sorts of complex tasks.
So what does that future look like then? Is it AI replacing professors entirely?
Not necessarily replacing entirely, but working alongside them and changing the role. The vision is AI working with instructional designers, technologists, and professors. The AI gets trained on the discipline, on course materials.
Learns the subject matter.
Right. And then it assists in developing lectures, videos, quizzes, assessments, guided by the human experts.
And the personalization aspect comes in how?
This is where it gets really interesting. AI can analyze data from every student interacting with the course material across all sections. It sees where people get stuck, what explanations work best, which activities are most engaging. And it uses those insights to constantly refine the experience. The essay suggests two students in the same course could actually have vastly different learning journeys, totally tailored to their individual styles and needs.
Wow. Okay, who feels the impact first in terms of faculty roles?
The prediction is the initial hit will likely be hardest on postdocs and teaching assistants, people in more precarious, less permanent teaching roles.
Right. There was a comment mentioned from a BU dean during a strike suggesting AI could be an alternative.
Exactly. That highlights the perceived potential for cost savings, right or wrong.
So non-tenured faculty next.
It seems likely.
Yeah.
As AI gets better at handling full courses, those lecture lines might be reduced over time. Even tenured faculty aren't totally insulated in the long run.
Really? How so?
Well, maybe not immediate displacement for current tenured profs, especially those near retirement, but the essay suggests that as they retire, those positions might just not be refilled. The courses get absorbed into the AI-driven system instead, maybe over the next 10, 15 years.
So the message for faculty who want to stick around is adapt or else.
Pretty much. Adaptability seems key. They'll likely need to become more tech-savvy, learn to collaborate with AI in designing courses, maybe focus more on troubleshooting the AI or handling the really complex student interactions the AI can't manage.
Okay, that's a huge shift in the faculty role. Let's pivot to the students themselves. How does this AI integration change their day-to-day learning experience?
Well, we're already seeing the beginnings, right? Students using tools like ChatGPT for brainstorming, research help, maybe even drafting text.
Yeah, that's definitely happening.
But imagine it going much further. Miss a class. Instead of just borrowing notes, maybe an AI bot gives you a recording or finds a similar lecture from a different professor, even at another university, covering the exact same concept.
Okay, that's useful. And AI tutors, available anytime.
That's a big one. 24/7 support, potentially personalized to your specific struggles. Could be a massive help for students who can't make office hours or need instant clarification.
Flexibility seems like a big theme, too. Taking exams remotely, maybe, on your own schedule.
That's part of the vision. Less rigidity. Yeah. But the really game-changing idea, I think, is the development of these personalized AI agents for every single student.
Like Siri or Alexa, but supercharged for school.
Exactly. But way more powerful and deeply integrated. Imagine an AI agent that knows your entire academic history, your learning style, your goals, your schedule, everything.
And what would it do with all that information?
Help with literally everything. Planning your course schedule semester by semester, managing assignments and deadlines, finding research papers, helping with job applications, grad school searches. The essay even suggests it could help monitor mental and physical well-being, maybe flagging resources if needed.
Wow. So it's less about signing up for discrete courses.
And more about working with your AI agent to build a completely personalized instructional path. A path that might transcend the traditional classroom, the campus boundaries, even time zones.
How would that work? Give me an example.
Okay, say you need to grasp a tricky concept in, quantum physics. Your agent could find lectures from the world's leading experts, pull in articles, interactive simulations, maybe even find you access to a remote lab session using augmented reality if you can't be there physically.
So pulling resources from everywhere, not just one professor's syllabus.
Precisely. And it would design assessments tailored just for you to see if you've actually mastered the concept in a way that makes sense for how you learn.
The essay even mentions AI avatars that could, sense if you're getting frustrated by reading facial expressions.
Yeah, it touches on that. Real-time adaptation. If the AI avatar tutor sees you're struggling or confused, it could immediately adjust its approach, maybe offer a different explanation or slow down.
That level of personalization is incredible,
Okay.
and it extends beyond graduation.
That's the idea of using blockchain for lifelong learning. Your entire educational journey, courses, projects, skills, credentials stored securely, owned by you, accessible via your agent.
So you could constantly update it, add new skills, maybe get micro-credentials recognized throughout your career?
Exactly. A living, portable record of your learning and capabilities.
Okay, this is leading somewhere even bigger, isn't it? The essay talks about the AI university. AIU, what is that?
Yeah, this isn't just about traditional universities using AI tools better. This is the prediction of entirely new institutions, built from the ground up around AI, with minimal human staff.
Launched by who? Tech companies?
Potentially. The essay throws out names like X, Google, Amazon, Meta as examples of companies that can move into this space. Big players with the tech know-how and capital.
And what would an AIU look like structurally? Super lean.
Incredibly lean is the idea. Maybe a human provost, a handful of human department chairs. But they'd be managing AI agents responsible for delivering the instruction in specific disciplines. AI for accounting, AI for history, and so on.
And the focus would be job skills. Credentials.
Primarily, yes. Professional credentialing, degrees delivered hyper-personally, flexibly, just in time, based on student needs and career goals.
Would these places even succeed? Starting a university is hard.
The essay anticipates a high failure rate initially, absolutely. Lots of startups might fizzle out. But it predicts that dozens could survive and eventually thrive, existing alongside the traditional universities.
Who would go to an AIU? Is there a target market?
A huge one, potentially. The essay specifically mentions non-traditional students, particularly degree completers. The roughly 40 million Americans who have some college credits but never finished their degree.
People maybe not well served by the current system, need more flexibility, lower cost.
Exactly, and cost is key. An AIU with way less physical infrastructure, fewer buildings, labs. Maybe no sports teams could operate on a radically different financial model.
Meaning much lower tuition, like significantly lower.
That's the potential. Maybe even allowing students to graduate with little or no debt. Think about the disruption caused by existing large-scale online players like Southern New Hampshire or Western Governors University, but maybe taken to another level with AI.
Of course, traditional universities won't just vanish, right? People still want the campus experience, the football games.
No, the essay acknowledges that. There will absolutely still be a place for the traditional residential college experience. Many students will still value and choose that,
But even those traditional places will have to integrate AI much more deeply to stay competitive, to meet those evolving student expectations.
that seems inevitable, yes. They'll need to offer that personalization, that tech-enabled support to remain relevant.
So, wrapping this all up,
Yeah.
what's the ultimate takeaway here? It feels massive, almost overwhelming.
It is. Latham uses that quote from Blade Runner 2049, you can't hold the tide back with a broom.
Right. The change is coming, whether we like it or not.
Pretty much. He argues that predicting the disruption is actually the easier part. The harder part is people, especially those within higher ed, truly accepting how inevitable it is and starting to prepare for what could be, frankly, some painful adjustments.
But there's good news too, right? Especially for students.
Yes, the essay is quite optimistic about the benefits for learners. More access, more personalization, potentially lower cost, lifelong learning support. Students stand to gain a lot.
And professors, they'll still exist.
There will still be professors, yes, but likely fewer of them, and their roles will need to evolve significantly. Different skill sets required.
But we can't ignore the fact that this likely means permanent job losses in the sector.
No, the essay is clear about that reality. It's creative destruction, and the destruction part involves job displacement.
Is there any silver lining mentioned? Any unexpected positive outcome?
Interestingly, yes. A potential resurgence for the humanities.
Really? How so?
Because as AI gets woven deeper into society, we're going to face incredibly complex ethical, moral, legal, social questions. Who better to grapple with those than philosophers, historians, ethicists, sociologists? The humanities could become, in a sense, the conscience guiding AI's integration.
That's a compelling thought. So the final message from the essay is, start talking.
Essentially, yes. An urgent call for professors, administrators, everyone in higher education to start having these difficult, uncomfortable conversations now, to figure out how to navigate this future rather than just letting it happen to them.
Okay, so just to quickly recap for everyone listening, we've explored this predicted future where AI digs deep into university administration, streamlining everything from enrollment to accreditation.
Right, and then the huge impact on teaching, the changing role of faculty, the rise of AI-driven personalized courses, and the need for educators to adapt.
We looked at the student experience transforming personalized AI agents, flexible learning paths, maybe even lifelong learning tracked on a blockchain.
And finally, the emergence of these entirely new AI universities, potentially launched by tech giants, offering low-cost, flexible credentialing, existing alongside and challenging traditional institutions.
It really brings that creative destruction idea home, like film photography giving way to digital higher education seems poised for a fundamental reshaping.
It really does. The foundations are being shaken.
So building on that, here's something to really chew on after this deep dive. If this personalized AI-driven education becomes the norm, what are the ripple effects? What are the benefits we haven't thought of? And maybe more crucially, what are the unforeseen challenges for us as individuals and for society? Think beyond just the universities themselves. How might your own learning journey change in ways we can't even imagine yet?
It's a massive question. And understanding these potential shifts feels more critical now than ever before.